The television show In Depth with Graham Bensinger travels the world getting exclusive access to some of the biggest names. And to celebrate the Emmy Award-winning show's 12th season, let's welcome its creator and host, Graham Bensinger. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me, Elsa.
Oh, love having you on. Of course, we're happy to have you back. We had you on, I think, several months ago, but since then, you've been really busy. Tell us about some of your new favorite interviews.
Oh man, I've been so lucky. I pinch myself all the time for having the opportunity to host the show, but we've done everything from the evening with Tom Hanks to 2 days in Monaco with Prince Albert to the week in the Bahamas with Sir Richard Branson. Pre-pandemic, we were in China for a couple days with Arnold Schwarzenegger, India with the world's best cricket player, Virat Kohli, who's the most famous person in a country with 4 times the number of people as we have in the US. So super fun show to host because you don't spend 5 or 10 minutes with these folks. You spend anywhere from a few hours to a few days, depending on who it is we're profiling.
So you get really in depth. And I know despite the pandemic, you were able to spend a couple of days with big wave surfer Maya Gabeira. And also that was in Portugal. And then you went to Guadalajara to visit with boxing champ Canelo Alvarez in the middle of this pandemic. So how were you able to make all that happen?
Admittedly, I was concerned when the pandemic started because we're a traveling profile interview show, and that's how we keep the show going. And obviously that was challenged during the pandemic, but just recently we started traveling internationally again. We had to get government approval to get into Portugal to spend a couple days with the world's best female big wave surfer. Our taping with Canelo Alvarez in Mexico was actually initially postponed because we found out the night before we were supposed to fly there that he himself had tested positive for COVID. So it has been a challenge, but it's also been uniquely satisfying to be able to figure out a way to keep the show going amid these challenging times for everybody.
Well, I want to double back to Canelo's interview too, because he reveals that he negotiated the release of his kidnapped brother the week of his big fight in New York. Is that correct?
It is. Very surprised. He had not told that to anybody before. And as much as I'd like to think it was because of me, the reality is he had just never done an extensive interview of any consequence before. So we were lucky to be able to spend the day with him in Guadalajara. He offered that up a few days before his fight. I mean, he's literally having to negotiate with the cartel to get his brother released. So understandably, he now has a lot of security. When we were traveling around Mexico with him, we were in an armored vehicle. There was an armored vehicle in front of us, behind us, guys with us with AK-47s. You realize very quickly he's not messing around.
Well, and I can't let you downplay your interview skills and just say that, oh, it just so happened because it was his first interview. You have a way of getting people to open up, to tell sometimes stories that they might not even know that they were going to tell. Another one that you had recently, your season debut episode, Ice Cube shared a story about how he almost murdered someone over $20. This was during his early days in LA, well before he became the beloved father figure that we all know and love now, an amazing actor and rapper. But he told you something that was very vulnerable and wanted to share that part of himself with you.
Right. He had a tough upbringing, credits his parents a lot for encouraging him and motivating him to do better and get out of their circumstances. But right, somebody tricked his mom back in the day into giving them $20, and he showed up on the person's doorstep with a gun ready to kill them, and they weren't home. Obviously, that would have altered the course of his life had they been home. I think I'm just lucky that I'm not a reporter with a million other duties. So that affords us the ability to put probably 100 hours of research into each interview preceding the sit down. And because of that, you just come up with anecdotal type stories these folks haven't been asked about a million times before. And then inherently that encourages them to give you a little better access than they're otherwise used to giving. So that's really it. It's not rocket science by any means.
Well, this is right up my alley. From interviewer to interviewer, I get really excited when I can watch someone work and pull these stories out. And I know that this new season, there's going to be a lot of that. So what else is in store?
Oh man, so much. We just spent a couple days with Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne taping an episode. Race car driver Jimmy Johnson, Sir Richard Branson, who obviously just returned from space
Yeah.
and his ongoing efforts to privatize commercial space exploration. So much. Super excited. Season 12, and just trying to hustle and continue to keep it going.
What an age we live in where we can say, oh, he's just back from space. One day it'll be all of us. Graham Bensinger, thank you so much for being with us. And of course, watch season 12 of In Depth with Graham Bensinger Sundays at 11:35 right here on WMAR2. We'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.